When people look at the scoreboard, they'll say Team Spirit beat ONIC ID. But if you really watch the game, this wasn't just a team win. This was KidBomba completely controlling the map with Esmeralda. And once that happened, ONIC ID couldn't play their game anymore. This game was decided by one thing. Space forget kills for a moment. Forget stats. This match was decided by space. Who could walk forward? Who was forced to step back? Who controlled the fight before it even started? And the answer, almost every time, was KidBomba. KidBomba didn't just front. He zoned 4 players. Let's be very clear about what happened. KidBomba on Esmeralda wasn't just tanking damage. He was standing in front of 4 ONIC ID players, cutting their angles, blocking their movement, forcing them to reposition again and again. There were moments where ONIC ID's backline couldn't step forward. ONIC ID's damage dealers had no clear target. ONIC ID's formation completely collapsed. And the reason was simple. They could not remove KidBomba from the fight. Why Esmeralda was impossible to deal with Esmeralda is already strong, but she becomes broken when there's no anti-heal, there's no shield reduction, there's no sustained DPS to punish her. That's exactly what happened here. ONIC ID had no real answer once Esmeralda got going, so KidBomba could walk into the front line, absorb burst, steal shields, heal everything back, and ONIC ID had to back away every single time. No anti-heal equals free game for KidBomba. This is the most important point. Against Esmeralda, anti-heal is not optional. Without it, she wins long fights, she wins short fights, she controls objectives, she controls vision. ONIC ID didn't have a reliable anti-heal source, and KidBomba knew it. You could see it in his movement. No hesitation, no fear, no need to wait for teammates. When a player realizes the enemy cannot punish him, that's when domination starts. Why KidBomba could zone 4 players alone? People might think, why didn't ONIC ID just focus him? Because they couldn't. Every time they tried, burst damage got absorbed, shields got stolen, HP got restored. Esmeralda doesn't need to kill you to beat you. She just needs to exist in front of you. And KidBomba did exactly that, perfectly. Kadita was the wrong type of mage. Now let's talk about ONIC ID's mage, Kadita. Kadita is a burst mage. She excels at deleting squishy heroes, low mobility targets, backline carries, but Esmeralda is not that type of hero. Against Esmeralda, burst damage is inefficient. Combo damage gets healed. Shield absorption nullifies pressure. So every time Kadita went in, nothing really changed. KidBomba stayed in front. The zoning continued. ONIC ID stayed locked out. Why ONIC ID couldn't do anything? This is something viewers felt but maybe couldn't explain. Why did ONIC ID look powerless? Because they couldn't walk forward. They couldn't reach priority targets. They couldn't start clean fights. Every engage had to go through Esmeralda. And that's the worst possible situation. When one player blocks your entire formation, your options disappear. How KidBomba controlled objectives without kills? This is high-level play. KidBomba didn't need highlight kills. He didn't need flashy moments. He just stood between ONIC ID and objectives, forced them to take bad angles, made them waste cooldowns. When Turtle or Lord fights started, ONIC ID was already uncomfortable. That's not luck, that's control. Why Karrie would have changed everything this match once again shows why Karrie is so important against heroes like Esmeralda. Karrie provides sustained damage, true damage, real frontline threat. If ONIC ID had a hero that could melt Esmeralda faster, force KidBomba to retreat, punish overextension, then zoning 4 players becomes impossible. But without that threat, KidBomba could keep walking forward freely. The moment ONIC ID lost the game. The turning point wasn't a big team fight. It was when KidBomba realized he couldn't be punished. ONIC ID started backing away automatically. Team spirit took space without resistance. From that moment on, the game slowed down, and ONIC ID was always reacting. And when you're reacting instead of deciding, you're already losing. This was a player-driven win. Let's give credit properly. Yes, team spirit played well as a unit, But KidBomba's Esmeralda was the foundation. His positioning made fights easier, protected his teammates, forced ONIC ID into mistakes. This wasn't about mechanics alone. This was about understanding how to abuse a draft weakness perfectly. What ONIC ID must change next time. If ONIC ID faces this again, they need to respect Esmeralda more, prioritize anti-heal, pick a mage that pressures sustain heroes, draft damage that actually threatens frontline. Because without those tools, even elite teams will look